In this session, I'm going to be teaching you how to create a persona map from beginning to end. So right now I'm in the project that I want to be in. This is my retail project, and I'm in my project inventory. Now from here, you can open any of your eye points. And if you go to the section in here called Persona, this will give you access to the 13 persona or segment templates that you have available in every project. You'll see that some of these have a name already, which means that they've been defined. Not necessarily that the map has been made, but that at least they've been defined. So in this scenario, I have a new persona that I would like to create for this project. So I'm going to start by looking for my first available blank segment or persona. So that would be segment 3. And the name of my persona in this case is Clark. So I don't even have to tag this eye point to Clark. All I have to do is create Clark and click Save. And now this persona is available to me in my project, and I can go actually build the persona map. Later, we can come back and you can go through your eye points and you can figure out which eye points actually are most important to Clark, and then you can go ahead and tag them. And by tagging them, you would just be checking the box just like I just did and click Save. For now, we're just going to work on creating that persona map. So from here, let's go to our map database. And we'll go up to the top and click Add a Map. And now you're here with our map templates, and we're going to go ahead and choose the persona map template. Now, when you click on this, you'll see the personas and segments that are available to you, whether you've created them or not. Some of them already have a name. So like Molly and Bob, those are personas or segments we've already created. We've just set up Clark. So now Clark is showing up and it's even highlighted. And here's Clark. We have a few options here. You can either make Clark a segment or a persona, or you can choose a condition. So current state, transitional, or to be. For now, I'm going to do Clark as a persona as is. So then next you say Save New Map. Okay, this will take you right into our map editor. So now you can start to create the persona map for Clark. So let's go ahead and give Clark some information. So his name is Clark Andrews, and he is a software developer, or actually here I could say persona map, current state for Clark, and save. Now what we'll do is, this is called Inline Editing, and what we're going to really do is just look at all the categories that are available to you across the left of this editor, and you're just going to start clicking through these and start filling out as much information as you have. So we just did the map title and description, so the next bullet available to us is the image library. So you have a couple options here. You can either choose an image from our image library if you see one that looks like this person that you're trying to tell a story about, or you can upload your own image. And in this case, I think this image looks good for what I'm trying to do, so I'm going to choose that one and click Save. And you can kind of see in the background that my image was selected. Next up is the configuration of Clark's story map. So for now, I think what I'll probably do is leave this information on as default because I want to show you what comes through in this section of the persona map. So let's go ahead and close out of here and take a look at our background. So what I've got is, just at the very highest level, I have the name of my persona. I've created an image for him from the image library. And then down here I have a little simple journey map that I can use to describe Clark's experience. And we've got a couple different categories here. We've got things like digital and analog. You might think of this as online or offline. And then what we have here are the life cycle phases that were set up in your inventory. So those have been pulled forward. If you don't want to use those, you can turn those off. So now let's go back to edit this map. And we'll go back to this configuration on our map. And let's say I want to maybe simplify this map a little bit. I'll choose a different story meandering path, and maybe I'll turn off the analog, and I think I'll leave the life cycle on for the moment, and then click Save, and then close, and now this is what my map looks like. There's a new column at the end here. The reason that's showing up and it's not defined is just simply because that's in my inventory. Now, if you want to get rid of that, let's go back to inventory. And you can see that's here. Now, I don't happen to be using this right now. There's no eye points available within this column, so there's no reason why I can't just remove it. So to do that, let's go to edit this map, column and row configuration, and then I'll just go ahead and take this one off. It'll ask if I'm sure. I'll say yes, and then my map is refreshed. Now, the next step is you want to go to your iPoint database tool, click on this LDC lifecycle configuration option. And what I want to do here is I'm just going to say, please match my inventory. And when I did that, it changed and it took away that empty column that I had previously. I want this to be at the project level, and I'll click Save. Now I'm going to go back to my map. So here's Clark. And then we should see that that new column is gone from our lifecycle phases. So pretty simple. If any of that was confusing, just you can rewind and watch that in slow motion. So let's continue building our map. We'll go back to edit this map. And now let's move on to the next section. We've got some basic attributes and content. So let's give our persona some more information. So do we have a handle or a nickname for this persona? We can do computer nerd. What do we know about him? Age, household income, occupation. He's a software developer and he's single. And he's an experimental hacker. Let's click Save. So what's up next is our persona library. We've already loaded our image there. So what about, let's come up with something about our persona. So a little bit about our persona. We can say that Clark is a systems software developer and a data junkie. He is very interested in health and performance products. Save. Okay. What about some doing, thinking, feeling? So as far as doing, thinking, and feeling, Clark is working on smarter ways into a healthier lifestyle. What is he thinking? He's thinking, what products or services can help me with my healthy lifestyle goals? And he might be feeling a little frustrated with wearable technology and not sure which products are the best for him. And then save. Next up is access to devices. So I like to think of this in terms of what kind of technology is Clark most likely to be using. So we can pretty much guarantee he's going to be connected to his mobile phone all the time. People in this age range are using streaming services. They are no longer using television or cable. So let's dump that. Desktop, nope, not being used anymore at all. Magazines, not really. Newspapers, nope. Laptop, yes. And probably tablet. And if he does have any magazines, they could be like trade magazines, something techy or data related, something he might be interested in. But most likely, he's getting most of his content and most of his information online. So top 10 shops at, what kind of brands does he like? He likes Nike. He likes Amazon. He likes Whole Foods. He likes Reebok. And he likes Apple. So save. What are his top goals or motivation? So he wants to cut down on unhealthy habits. He wants to measure his healthy lifestyle data. And he wants to make positive impacts in his life. And he also wants to influence his friends positively. Top 5 influencers. Who's he listening to? Maybe he likes Steve Jobs. Maybe he loves Gary Vee. Who doesn't love Gary Vee? Maybe he's listening to Branson. And maybe he has some sports heroes that he's following. We also have a section here for free form metrics. So if you had something in here that was a little bit outside the box of what we've already kind of figured out or have placeholders for, you could put that here. So if we know anything about him from a metric standpoint, maybe you know something about his customer value, or you know something about his lifetime value, or his average sales, or revenue, or NPS score, or anything like that, you could put that here. We also have free form attributes, like other things that maybe we haven't quite covered. So we could say that he's motivated. We could maybe use this as motivations. So let's say his motivations are incentives, achievement, growth, power, and social status. And just click save. And then close. Now, basically, you've got this started, and everything that we added is just kind of hanging out over on the right. We have a place on the right of the canvas, which acts as a placeholder. And we did that on purpose. And we did that so that you can just sort of click and drag and put things where you want them, so that essentially you're building your canvas as you wish. Now, once you move things around and you think you have them kind of where you want them to be, this is where you have the opportunity to bring in some interaction points that are relevant to Clark. Now, I like to think in terms of, we're not going to be recreating our entire inventory map here. This is not a ton of space, but what we can do is pull through maybe the top interaction point per life cycle phase that Clark would be most engaged with or interested in. So let's go to our inventory, import, and look at everything we have by life cycle. So we could do something like maybe he lost weight or changed his weight, so he needs some new clothes. He's looking at researching websites, and maybe he's shopping, and he's probably doing most of his shopping online. As far as buying, he probably wants to get the best for his money. And returning, he needs to get his money back. Promotion, he wants his friends and family to know about the products that he has purchased that he enjoys, and this is a retail example. Repurchase, he'll probably log into his account to place another order. And subscription, if he's going to be enrolled into a subscription, then let's see if that would probably make sense for him. Now you choose the eye points that you want and then go back to the map. And then they're just going to show up in the upper right-hand corner here. So you can just sort of click and drag. I like to pull them all down to my canvas, and then I can place them in the appropriate life cycle phase. So maybe this is his trigger, and then he's researching websites. He's happy working online. He wants to get the best value for his money, and he wants his friends and family to know about the products that he enjoys. He's logging into his account, and he has subscribed to the monthly subscription. And just refresh your browser periodically to make sure everything's locking in. Now, another little trick on this map is if you want the eye points to look a little bit more like they look in inventory, you can open up your map editor, go to eye point visible element toggles. You can turn on your actors. You can turn on your emotions, scores, segments, and maybe that's enough, and click save and close. And then now you can see some of the other attributes that you've defined in these eye points as they are in inventory. That's it. Now we've taken just less than 10 minutes to create a complete persona map. And once you've done this, your persona map is printable, just like all the other maps are. You just go to your print and then do a save as, and then it'll give you a PNG file, and you can drop it into PowerPoint or share it or email it to a friend. Another way that you can share this map is by simply copying and pasting the URL link to the map itself. And as long as the person that you share the map with has SuiteCX login access, they will be able to go right to this map. Please reach out if you have any questions.